Everybody, it's Von Rich here with another video. It's not going to be my 80s Ramones. I'm doing that one next. I've been listening to the Ramones albums. I decided I need to take a break. They do get a little samey, you know. So I watched a video by EmbryonicRobot today. And he showed great album covers, or good album covers. I forget how he worded it. He has done he's done a number, maybe 4 videos of bad album covers. And today I watched one where he did one of good. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to do a video of good and bad album covers. And the first thing that came to my mind was Black Sabbath's debut. I think this is a great album cover. Very creepy. I remember when this came out, I bought this album just because of the album cover. I had no idea what it was going to sound like. You can kind of get a feeling by how it looks, but not really. You know, nothing really sounded like this back then. At least nothing major or commercial. But they followed that up with a terrible album cover. This thing is so bad, man. Black Sabbath, Paranoid. I mean, what a turd. The inside is pretty cool. Biggest band in rock, in music history. My favorite band, the Beatles. This is a great album cover, man. Some could argue it's too busy, but it's busy in an interesting way, you know? Just a fantastic concept, fantastic album, cover, and album. Now the Beatles, I have a bit of a stuffed up nose, so I apologize. The Beatles, they made a lot of albums with really bad covers, a lot. Now I know Beatle fans are gonna disagree with that, but this is a bad album cover. And I picked this one. I mean, they have a number. They have some good ones, but they have a number of really pretty bad. But I picked this one because George Harrison has his dick hanging out. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that before. I mentioned it before. But if you have that record, pull it out, take a look, man. It's like, I don't know. Velvet Underground, iconic cover. Nico and the Velvet Underground, I guess this is. Andy Warhol. Some would say this isn't really a good album cover. Andy Warhol is one of my favorite artists. I was an art major, and I really like this album. And I think the back cover is very cool. And what's inside? Nothing much. Now, their third album, I must say, I think it's not a good album cover. It's just... Is it the worst in the world? No, but it's not good. The back cover's more interesting than the front, though. David Bowie has a number of albums with great covers, but I thought I would show this one. Diamond Dogs, fantastic. Gatefold. One of his gatefolds that isn't quite so fantastic is Lodger. I mean, that's terrible for a front cover. You have to turn it this way to read. It's David Bowie, Lodger. Yeah, Lodger. This is what it's like all folded out. It would have made more sense if the back cover was the front, but... Another album that I think has a great cover and a fantastic back cover. The Tubes debut. Now, I saw the Tubes like 2 years before this came out, and I saw it with Norman Maslow. We were both at the same Led Zeppelin concert, and these were the the very first band that played. There were 4 bands that played. But yeah, the Tubes. Fantastic debut, fantastic album cover. Just very cool. But they followed that up with kind of like the same idea, but it's not as good. I don't think at all. The back cover of the band's pretty cool though. The first band I ever saw in concert. This is War. The first band I ever saw in concert was actually Eric Burdon and War. But I saw War a number of times. They used to play Bakersfield quite often. I don't know if it's because Long Beach is only like a couple hours away. They would always get a good turnout. But yeah, fantastic album cover. Just a very cool illustration, you know. War, the world is a ghetto. And one of theirs that I don't think is very good. I mean, some could argue. I mean, it's not a bad drawing, but it doesn't really, it's not a great album cover at all. I don't think. Now, this is a great album cover. The Sex Pistols, never mind the bollocks, here's the Sex Pistols. Great graphic design, very iconic. And one of their albums that came out, it's an official album, it came out after they were broke up, but it's Some Product, Carry On, Sex Pistols. That's not a good album cover, dude. That's just hodgepodge thrown together. The Clash debut, fantastic album cover. Now, I think London Calling may be their most iconic, but EmbryonicRobot showed that one, so I thought I would show the debut. I think it's a fantastic cover. And a great debut. Then we got Combat Rock. This is terrible. Them just posing on some railroad tracks. Now, I don't think the album's that bad, but the cover's not good. I think it's a great album cover. Very simple. Patti Smith, Horses. And there's the band. But yeah, very iconic cover. One that's not quite so, I guess it's iconic, but I don't think it's very good, man. Smells good though. And there's on the back, pretty cool picture of the band. Now I'm going to go through, I think, just, they're not going to be the same bands, but some good and some bads. This is the Blue Mountain Eagle. This is recorded in 67, I think. And for 67, this is pretty good, man. It's kind of rock. I don't know if it's a stretch to call it psychedelic. Some of it, I mean, the opening track, Love Is Here, some of the guitars and the way it sounds like Crazy Horse. But yeah, very excellent album cover, man. One, the 60s psych band that the album cover is not so good is the Baroques. And Soarin' Records just bought an original of this. Originals are quite expensive. I got this as a record store day one. But yeah, this is got a doll there, but it's not good. I mean, they're trying to go for the creepy cool. But early 70s, T-Rex, fantastic cover, man. 71, I believe. This is the year I saw T-Rex. Just iconic. Just a great design. One that's not so good. Jack Bruce. Things We Like. He's eating mush with the dogs. It's horrible. What a crappy album cover. The Mothers of Invention. Weasels Ripped My Flesh. Frank Zappa had a lot of great album covers, man. Even the back picture. But yeah, that's great, dude. An album that I don't think this is a good album cover. I don't like it, man. The Soft Boys. Guess this is their second album. I showed this recently. Hannah, the Omaha introvert, sent this my way. But yeah, I don't like the album cover, man. This couple here, I don't know. This guy looks like that guy in the balcony of the Muppet Show, you know? A very simple, even the back is cool, dude. That is a great album cover, dude. Another one from the late 70s. The Suicide Commandos make a record. That's not good, dude. That's terrible. Very cool and classy album cover. Even the back is cool. Very simple. But you got Joe Jackson. Looks sharp. Very, very cool album cover, man. One that's not so cool. Captain Sensible. Even though he's cool, this is a... And I know they were probably going for the corny and goofball, but I don't like this album cover at all. An album cover that I think is fantastic. I like this album cover more than I do the actual band, man. I don't really care for this record that much. I just can't get into it, man, you know? So eventually this will be a goner. But it's a cool album cover. The Raincoats. One that I don't think is quite so cool is Rhino 39. Punk band, probably LA, was it? I know I showed this recently. Yeah, Hollywood, California. But it's a really good album, man. A great album cover. The Stranglers' debut. Even the back is cool, you know? But yeah, that's a cool album cover, dude. The Stranglers' debut. We got Susie and the Banshees' debut. This album cover is not quite so cool. I guess it's people underwater in a pool. But I don't like it. The DYS Brotherhood album. I think it's a very cool illustration. DYS is Department of Youth Services. But you all knew that. And one that I don't think is cool is, or I don't like it, Kings of Punk, Poison Idea. He scratched the name of the band in his stomach with an X-Acto knife. That's not cool. I don't like that album cover. TSOL. Fantastic Sounds of Laughter. No, Dance With Me. Fantastic album cover, man. Really cool illustration. This dead ghost guy, skeleton guy, like in a cemetery. The cemetery's not in very good shape, though. An album cover, iconic album with a horrible cover. That's not a good cover, dude. That's terrible. The back reminds me of that album, that psych album, Christopher. And got the last two. We got the Inbred with Kissing Cousins. Fantastic. Kind of like a takeoff on Elvis Presley movies from the 60s. You got a picture of Jerry Lee Lewis, and I guess this is his minor. She's a minor and his cousin, I believe. And it kind of torpedoed his career. But it's a very, very funny, very cool album cover. And we're going to end it on a terrible album cover. And it's James Taylor, One Man Dog. This is my favorite James Taylor album. In fact, I purged all of his others. I like 70s James Taylor. But I love this album, but man, that is not a good album cover. I don't think. Anyways, take care. Ramones are next. I'm going to go listen to some Ramones later tonight. Have a few beers and bop around.